and on. When me and you party together, I wish this night would last forever. Cause I was feeling down, now I'm feeling better. And maybe it goes on and on and on and on. All right, I don't want to get copyrighted here, but welcome to day number 6 here of the Digital Dropshipping Bootcamp. Another one that a lot of people love is talking about paid ads for digital products. How the hell do you run paid ads for a digital product? You know, the typical dropshipper is going to go out there, steal some ads, some content from other people for whatever product they're selling. They're going to piece some stuff together and, just hope that they're going to make sales using other people's content, and then maybe that turns into something in the future. Now, if you're even lucky enough to make sales doing that, you're putting yourself in a position not to scale, and I know that because I've been there. It's not sustainable, and that's why we're here, and, well, that's why I'm here right now, at least making this video, is because, I quit dropshipping the normal way to do digital instead, and it's been, so much better for me. Less headaches from the people, more profits. I mean, can't really get much simpler than that when it comes to decision making on which one you would want to choose. But there's several main components that we're going to go through today that I got for you, and it's going to be all about running ads, meta ads, creatives, the setup, all that stuff, Facebook ads, as I like to think about it more so. And it's my favorite ad platform. I've done TikTok ads. Actually, in 2020, I set myself on a mission. I was like, I want to run ads on every single platform: Quora, Twitter, Reddit, Snapchat, Facebook, Pinterest, all these platforms. I'm going to run ads on them, and I did. And you know what my consensus was after all of that? Facebook ads are still the best. That's where I've spent the most money, the most time, the most effort. And even at a time where in 2021 and even early 2022, when people were shitting on Facebook ads and, it was not that good, people were saying that's where I was still putting my focus and still getting the most results, talking about it, even on my YouTube channel here. And, it wasn't a popular topic. But it's still something to this day that I use, that I run, and that's why I'm going to talk about it and teach it, because it's something that I've actually done, gotten experience with, and that's why I want to talk about it. So when it comes to running ads on Facebook, the first step to it really, and we'll get into nitty-gritty, of course, but the first step here is, of course, a business manager. Now, I already know what's going to happen here. So if you just go to Facebook, business.facebook.com, you'll come up to, a little page that looks like this. And then, what I would want you to do is to go to over here to all tools, and then go over here to settings. And then you're going to see all this stuff. Maybe it looks a little bit different for you. And, maybe what's going to happen is you're going to go over here, and you're going to go over here and see, oh, this is disabled. That's not good. Well, what if I'm restricted? This, that. Basically, this Facebook profile right here that I'm logged into right now, as an example, is absolutely restricted. This thing is donezo. I messed it up, years ago when I didn't know about running ads, and I basically was just running against policies, and, they permanently disabled me from running ads on here. But that could have led to one or two things. I could have either just been like, all right, I can't run Facebook ads anymore, I'm out, or two, find a solution to it. And I found a solution that's worked amazing for me, and I would recommend that to you. It's in a way where you don't have to use agency accounts. You don't have to be paying a bunch of money to do this. I just want to teach the way that I've done it and has, worked for me consistently and safely. And that's what I think is most important. Now, let me, preface it by this. Not everybody's going to be restricted. Not everybody's going to be disabled. If you can appeal it, then appeal it if you are restricted. But Facebook values accounts that have been around for a little while. So if you have a Facebook profile, you never ran ads on it, and damn, look at that mosquito on my hand. Part 2. Didn't this happen last video? Need the macros. Anyways, you might be able to come on here, and you'll see that your account is good to go. You've had an account around for a couple years, and you're going to run ads on it. Great. I would go here, and what's going to happen is you're going to open up your business manager, and well, let me tell you first how I mitigate being restricted first. Then I'll talk about the assets we need to create. So one of two situations here. You're either restricted with no appeal, or not restricted and can run ads. If you're not restricted, great. If you are restricted with no appeal, this is how you do it. So here's what I've done. Instead of doing the agency accounts and all that, wild stuff, instead, what I did is I went over to my buddy. I said, yo, yo, Vince, do you mind if I use your Facebook account on the business side? I give you $50. Oh, bro, you're going to have to pay me more than that. All right, $100. Yeah, let's do it, bro. All right, give me the login. Then I got the login. But I didn't just log in right there on my phone or on my normal browser or normal window. What I did, now look, all this is superstition, but it's worked for me. So just listen here. What I do is I open a private browser or a private window on my browser, and I logged in only on my Wi-Fi, like my home Wi-Fi or hotspot. And I say that right now just because when I travel, I'm not like connecting on other Wi-Fis and stuff. I'm just using my hotspot. But anyways, I basically paid. I've done it with a few people where I pay, friends that I have from school back when or family members say, hey, can I throw you a couple bones to use the business side of your Facebook? You're not even going to notice I'm using it. I just need it because I just need it. Usually they don't ask questions like, yeah, throw me $50, $100, whatever. They don't really care. These people aren't running ads. And then what I do is I go in there on a private window. I add two-factor authentication with my own device. So that way, even if they want to log in, they have to go through me. And Facebook just likes two-factor authentication anyways. And now I have a Facebook profile I'm logged into. And it's not mine. And now a pro thing you can do too as well is you get a picture of this person's ID. Because there will be a point that comes if you're using someone else's account where you're running ads or whatever, and they're just going to ask verification that this profile is actually, the person. And so if you just have that ID on standby, you can upload that when the time comes around to make sure that it's verified and good to go. And basically what happens is now once you're logged in on a private window in this Facebook profile that's not yours and you want to use it on the business side, well, you have to take precautions. Now, when you're taking precautions, there's two things to explain. You have precautions for people that have ran ads before and got disabled. So that type of precaution would be, okay, on this new account, you're not going to use the same domain. You're not going to use the same payment method. You're not going to use the same anything, basically. Anything that Facebook could track back. The only thing they don't really track as much is like name on a payment method per se. So I've noticed that. And what you want to do is make the assets slow. Now, I just try to explain that as best as I can as far as like if you're restricted. But for the people that aren't restricted and watching this, like, Tanner, this is boring. Move on already. Like, this isn't of value to me. So we'll kind of move on here together and just kind of sum it up in the fact that I pay people that I know to use their Facebook profile on the business side. I add my own two-factor authentication. I get a picture of their ID, and I only log in and use this on a private window on my own Wi-Fi or my hotspot. Now, what's the next step? The next step is actually creating the assets. So to run ads, you need a few things. You need a page, Facebook page, you need an ad account, and you need a data set, which is, basically a Facebook pixel. It tracks all the data of what's going on. So what happens is once you're in the business settings, you go over here into these sides, and you'll see you can create a page. Cool, create a page. Create an ad account. But when you're doing this, I don't want you to do this all in one day right now, because what happens if you do these things too quickly, Facebook will kind of flag it and be like, all right, this is sus. This is sussy-bussy. I need to restrict this account. But instead, when you do these things slow, like, all right, today I'm going to make the page and open the ad account. Cool. Tomorrow, I'm going to add the payment method to the ad account, and I'm going to create the data set. Cool. Delayed gratification here. Look, it's just precautions. I don't want your shit to get restricted or anything like that. I want you to just do this. And these are the things that I've done just to make sure that things are good to go, and it's worked for me. So that's why I'm telling it to you here right now. And those are the three things that you need to create. Now, once those things are created, we'll move forward. These things are simple to create. The page, you would just put like the name of your, your store. Ad account, it doesn't matter what the name is. It doesn't matter what the payment method is. Data set, it doesn't matter what the name is. We're just going to create that right now. And these three things, once they're created, we can move on. But I will say one thing to pay attention to and be very, very careful of, this happens to a lot of newbies, a lot of beginners that are just starting out here, is they will go here and they create these things and they start running ads and go through this, whole type of thing. And then they say, Tanner, they messaged me and said my stuff's getting disabled. Like, I need to go here and do this. And this is what happens. These like scam accounts, these scammers, fishers, they'll go on here and pretend that they're Meta, and they'll message your page. And sometimes you'll get emails from Facebook that this person sent you a message and it'll include this content. Like, they don't even know. And they send this information. to your email, and people click on it. This link, if I clicked on this email or this link right now, I'd be fucked. You know why? Well, basically what they do here is they pretend that this is Meta, community support. It's obviously not, and it's a phishing link. So what they do here is if you click this, they're going to get access to your Facebook profile. And the worst case scenario I've seen is people do this that are, running ads. They click on this link, they get in their email or they get in their messages like this, and they click on it, and then their Facebook profile gets compromised. Then these people go into the ad accounts and they spend money. They launch ads to spend money on their own ads for like their own stores and stuff. Super scummy, right? But hey, if it's not their ad spend, they're going to run it up. They don't care what the cost per purchase is or anything. They're just going to spend as much as they possibly can. And, I've had some friends lose hundreds of thousands of dollars with this. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you might think, yo, Tanner, but like they could just dispute it, right? And like they'll get it back. Trust me, like American Express even. You do this and you try to dispute it with them to Meta. Meta's going to be like, no, like that money was spent on your account to reach people. Here's all the data showing this is how many people it reached, this is how many people clicked. It sucks. But this is why it's so important. You have two-factor authentication on. You don't click these types of links. And just keep this in mind. And another little trick or something I could recommend is something called Extend. Now, I've used this for my American Express business credit card. So let's say I have this business credit card, and Amex Gold gives you 4x points on the first $150,000 a year you spend on a certain category, which one of those categories can be ads. So you can get 600,000 points for spending $150K. And let's say I want to put this card on an ad account, but I don't want to risk, if let's say my limit, well, it's a charge card, doesn't have a limit, but let's say like if I'm a high spender that, I could run up my balance to $100,000 at any given point if I wanted to. And we don't want, if in the worst case scenario, like I just like to be better to be proactive than reactive. Instead of someone being able to go in here and just spend a bunch of money and rack it up, well, instead what can happen is we can use a virtual Extend credit card. So Extend is this tool you can use, and you connect it through your credit card. I mean, I don't know how many providers they have with it. I use it for American Express. And basically what it does is it gives you a virtual card number, and you can set rules on it. So you can say, all right, the rule is only for this to be able to bill a maximum of $1,000 a day. So that way, if someone gets into the ad account and they start spending money, well, it's fine. They can only spend, up to $1,000 a day. And I'm going to notice it within a day, and then, it's not the actual card, it's the virtual one. So it's a little tippy, tricky thing that you could do just to kind of be more proactive than reactive. I know, if you've never ran ads before, you're probably scared now. You're like, oh my God, this is so scary. Like people are going to hack and take my money. But like this is really it's a rare not a common occurrence. It's a rare occurrence. And especially if you do the things I tell you here, like the odds of this happening are even rarer. So yeah, I just want to make sure you're aware of that. Now, the next step is to do this. You have your Shopify store already open. If you've gone through the days here, day 4 store, and now we're on day 6. This is what you need to do. You need to add this to your store. Now, this is Facebook and Instagram extension, sales channel. You want to add this. It's free to install. And one thing you're going to notice is, well, the purpose of this is you go through here and you want to connect your thing. But let me tell you this. If you have a Facebook profile that you are using that someone else's right now, what you want to do is in your incognito private window, log into your Shopify store, then connect the Facebook side, because you don't want to go here right now in your normal window and like go connect to your store, and then it goes to connect to Facebook and it doesn't connect. You have to log into a private browser with your Facebook that you're logged into, so that way you can connect it. And now, what's the point of doing this, Tanner? Why am I connecting this here? Well, the purpose is just so you can link up, your conversion pixel inside of the store. So that way, that'll track all the data. They've made the integration very simple here. So you can see it'll look like this when you go through here. Now, here's what you want to be not careful with, but what's going to happen is here this says set up your shop. And the goal here is you're connecting like the Facebook page and the ad account and the pixel, and it'll say data sharing minimum, whatever, enhanced, maximum. I choose maximum, and it'll say, oh, this store is ineligible for shop. But Facebook Shop is not something we use for digital products. They don't allow digital products on Facebook Shop, but it's something they just kind of automatically have as like part of the setup here. So you're going to go through with that. You're going to go through all these steps. It'll say, oh, this isn't going to work because you can't run digital products on Meta Shop. And that doesn't matter because we're not using Meta Shop. That has nothing to do with it. We're just connecting our business assets here and the data sharing so we can track, all the stuff that's going on with our store. The people that go to the page view, people that do add to carts. So many mosquitoes in here. Checkouts initiated, purchases, so we can track these things when we start running ads and we get to that part. So go through with this, follow those steps. And once you do that, this is what I want you to do. Here on Google Chrome, they have this extension. It's called the Meta Pixel Helper, and the purpose is just to make sure that you've actually installed this correctly because before you run ads, you don't want to not have your pixel set up because then you're not even going to be able to track your results. It's not going to be able to optimize exactly how you want it to be, and you don't want that to happen. You want to be able to track your data so you know what's going on. So what's going to happen is, let's say this is example store, and I refresh this right here. I want to make sure that my pixel is installed all good. This isn't my store. But we see, oh my gosh, Tanner, there's no pixel showing on here. Well, you got to make sure the ad blocker is off. All right. And now we see it's firing. Page view. All right. Awesome. That's firing. Now this should also change if I go here to this product and I click add to cart. All right, you see that? Add to cart, view content, it's triggering the events. So these are pixel events. If you never ran ads before, you have these things, add to cart, check out. Like I said, these are things that it tracks. So, and the purpose of tracking it is one, so you can see as you're running ads what the data is, what the results are. But two, for retargeting. So let's say, in the future, if I have 1,000 people that added to cart but didn't purchase, I can target ads directly to those people. That's called retargeting. And now, the next step after doing all this, basic setup here in the business manager, connecting everything to your store, adding the pixel, verifying that it's actually working. Now, before we get into actual campaign setup and showing you my testing strategy for you guys, I want to focus on ad creatives because here's the thing with ad creatives. This isn't the normal dropshipper route. This isn't going to be something super crazy. The people ask me, yo, Tanner, what's the best type of ads for digital products? Images or videos or carousels? Pardon. And, there's two things that are my favorite. Image ads and video ads. And a certain type of both of these. So with digital products, what we can do is typically for something like an ebook, the type of ads we run are going to be static images. Plus, video testimonials. So let me just show you quick examples, and then we'll kind of make one because Canva is the best place to do this, easiest yourself. Graphic designers can do this the best. I have graphic designers that do all my graphics and any things that I need, which is great. I'm blessed. It's very helpful. So, but I always I recommend you to always make sure that you do something yourself first before you outsource, before you hire somebody else. The only thing you should be outsourcing maybe in the beginning stages for ads is going to be your actual, UGC, all right? So now we can get into talking to a little bit about video ads. So UGC just stands for user-generated content. I have a lot of students actually right now that are running UGC ads that are basically just reviews and testimonials of their product. So they pay, a certain person using a, platform to get a UGC creator. There's Billo, you can go Fiverr, but, there's a lot of different places. But anyways, you're basically paying someone to make content for you. They review your product, go over it, and then you could run that as an ad. So this right here is the Divinely Feminine, the store that I just showed you as an example. So they run a lot of different UGC video ads like this. So what they do is they start with a little hook. You see the first couple seconds? Now, not all of my students do this. This is just something they do. Usually it's better just to get straight into this UGC in my opinion. But what they do is they start here with a little hook, and then they get into this UGC. Let me do this.
This book is the ultimate guide for women who want to tap into their seductive side. I've learned how to make any man obsessed with me. Don't clip that, please.
Flirtation, seduction.
Ooh. All right. You see what I'm talking about? So digital product, all they're doing is creating the perceived value. These people are creating the perceived value. Not the actual book itself, but it's these people and the words that they're saying. And look, there's a lot of... Oh, they even do it on that one.
Every day's a dream. fall in love. It taught me the power of self-confidence, body language, and even fashion to help get what I want. I've even mastered the art of conversation to leave a long-lasting impression. Make sure you get yours now.
Every day's a dream when I'm...
Dog's trying to get me copyrighted. All right. Hopefully that gives you a good, like, kind of understanding there. Like, this is a good foundation. Oh, by the way, I didn't even say this, but for any newbies here, this is called the Facebook Ads Library. This is a free tool that anybody can use, and it's essentially what you can use to search up and see what ads people are running, both active and inactive, so ads people ran in the past. And you could search up on here all kinds of different things. You could search up stores, URLs. You can even put keywords like ebook or, random different things to see kind of what you can find and discover. You know, it's one of these tools that you can spend a lot of time on, just researching, going through it, and, seeing what brings value to you. The best thing to do is become immersed in this entire venture. If this is something you really want to get results with, you become immersed in. You put yourself around a community like our Discord and, around people that are working towards the same objective. It's literally the Mr. Beast hack that he talked about that got him from aspiring YouTuber to over 1 million subscribers. He talks about on a podcast with Joe Rogan, like every day he's getting on a call with these guys. They all want to become YouTubers and get over 1 million subs. They talk about ideas, what they're doing, collaborating, asking questions, and they all ended up getting over 1 million subscribers. But back on track here, now let's look at some image ads. So this is another example, like just a quick one that came to mind first that I could show here. It's called ADHD Doers. They have digital products about ADHD-related stuff, and they run ads here that are, for more so like direct, image ads. They have some video stuff, but you see like this says active, this says inactive, 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 this is active, and they are, here, this is like the type of ads that they're running. So how do we make something like this for our store, for our product, if we want to do image ads? Because the way to run ads and the strategy I'm going to teach you is purely predicated on ad creatives and the number and volume of them. I want you to test at least 20 ad creatives. I don't have my Discord pulled up right now, but basically what happened last week, I did a little success call and with one of my students, and he was like, Tanner, like I'm trying to get to like over 20K a month. His best month is only 15K. And he's like, anytime I scaled the budget on my ads, it just kind of goes like, it's not as profitable. My cost per purchase goes up. Like, what's going on? I was like, well, it sounds like you need to scale your creatives, not your budget. And I was like, how many creatives have you tested in the last week? And he's like, bro, I've been running the same one ad creative for 4 months. I'm like, Ninja, come on, man. And I was telling him, like, you got to test creatives. And he, like, he believed me, I guess, but he wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go out after this, I'm going to make ad creatives. He wasn't like, he didn't understand it. He didn't understand that was the cheat code. That's what he needed to do. Until he's like, because this was only like a 5-minute call. These 5-minute quick success calls sometimes I do with people in the inner circle. It was like my private Discord community. Anyways, he's like, how can I get like more time to like go over some things with you here? I was like, bro, if you test 20 ad creatives, then I'll get on a longer call with you. And he's like, how much do I need to pay? I was like, don't pay me. Just test 20 ad creatives and I'll do it for free. And he's like, all right, bet, bro. And literally, I get a message. He posted in the results channel today, a couple hours ago, in like a $800 plus day. And he's like, oh my gosh, like I've tested, it's been a week, by the way. And he's like, I've tested 20 creatives and, blah, blah, blah. And it's working amazing. And I was like, damn, man, I'm glad you listened. I'm really glad you listened. I was going to see if I have my Discord logged in on browser, but do I? Please? Oh, for sure, I do have it. All right, well, let me show you. Just hold tight with me here real quick. All right, there you go. You see right here? I've launched 20 new ads over the past week as per Tanner's advice, and I've hit a big day of sales. It's only 11 a.m. here, LOL. Damn, son. This dude going to be doing like 1.5K today. That conversion rate popping. All right, back to business here. Back to business. Focus, Tanner. Focus. All right, image ads. We went over some video ads. I want to show you like making an ad creative in Canva, just like general style, how you can do it quickly here. And then we'll go over the campaign strategy, setup, columns, and that good stuff. So let's go over here to Canva. What I just did is I made a little square, and I brought it over here. Let's say this is my ebook cover. How am I going to turn this entire thing into, you know, some type of image ad? Well, the first thing I'll start out with is probably go to edit photo, go to mockups, and then I'm going to go to print, and I'm going to scroll here, see, okay, what do we got? What do we got? All right, well, let's try something like this. Drag the image. All right. And now this part is actually not as hard. I wonder if I can do like smoke. And let me make this background a little bit darker. We'll mess with this, but let me now layer, send backwards. No! Bruh. All right, bear with me. Look, I'm just trying to piece this together quickly. But what I want to focus on with the actual content is when I'm creating something like if I'm creating an image ad, which to be honest with you right now, like I don't do this anymore. I have graphic designers that do this and they're really good at it. But I had to do it myself first to like prove that I could make something, even if it's kind of shitty, that would still even produce sales. Because if I can get one sale, even if I lose a little bit of money up front, I know that if one person buys it, okay, I know thousands of people are willing to buy it. I just got to make better ads, and I got to make better, maybe update my product page. But remember, we talked about making a product page. Well, we can use kind of the similar contents on here that we put to help create the ad creative. So that way we don't have to get convoluted in all the what's possible, what should I do, and this and that. So obviously this is kind of ugly right now, but we can start to build it up. Let's say we want to add, something like this. Right, you have some type of end outcome statement, and these are just like kind of what I would recommend. We do this. I would try to make a font that matches the one on my book. Do this, white. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. End outcome statement. Yeah. Effects. I don't know if this part is helpful for you guys or not. Hopefully. I just figure we'll mess around here real quick. Using AI. Over here, usually what I do next is kind of develop some bullet points that focus on what the actual benefits are of the product, or like how it works, to try and introduce that to people. Now this color is obviously ass. All right, I'm not playing perfectionist today. Don't do it, Tanner. Don't do it. So if you notice like this one, and there's a lot of other examples out there for sure, but what you'll notice is a lot of them kind of have a similar structure. There's a mock-up and different kinds of mock-ups, and then they have bullet points on focusing whatever the value is or like how it works, and they have a little bit of like an end outcome statement, or this one has like a question at the top, like want to learn more about ADHD. Now look, I don't think these ads specifically, these are converting at a super high level, to be honest. I could be wrong, but I don't think these things are converting a ton. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, we paid. Yeah, we paid. All right, this is pissing me off. Party in the USA. Don't you know this is the way? Just don't be away. Yeah. Look at this super hot fire. All right. I don't want to waste your time here. I really don't. And I'm either going to play perfectionist and work on this for a while till I get exactly how it, oh, shit, mine. Or leave you with the foundations. Just give me a second. Bruh. Oops. No. All right, bear with me here for a second. Bear with me here. If you got any questions in the meantime, drop them in the comments. I'm going to do my best to answer all the comments as quick as I can. Remember what I said, too. You want to kind of match your font related to like what the actual font is on the product or like the cover on here so it makes sense. You want colors to correlate, of course. This is just like a basic bones kind of thing. Next thing I would do on here is like some icons. So let's say rocket icon. Oops. White here. You know, you want to make it make sense though. Make it make sense. If it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. And then you go clean this up. You have your points on here. You have your end outcome statement. You clean some of these things up. You make different mock-ups, different backgrounds. You duplicate it. You make some different, rearrange the points. Do different icons, different type of mock-up, different, style. Like there's a lot of different variations that you can make. Obviously, you don't want it to be like ass. You want it to be decent. And, the best way to go about that and make sure it's something decent is to look for example stores, or like if you go inside of the Discord, I think even in the free Discord side, there's like some ebooks with some like store examples, and you can go look at the ads they're running. You can use the Facebook ads library and see what ads they're running and kind of recreate that and use that as not recreating that, but looking at it as kind of a guide and just seeing like, okay, this is something that could actually work, just kind of how I'm showing you here, ADH Doers. And if you're in my inner circle on Discord, what I want you to do is actually send me the ads you come up with before you, before you launch them, because I want to give you actual feedback on it and what I would adjust and change for you before. But that's something for the mentorship channels. You can throw it in there, and I'm happy to, give you feedback on the side. Now, we may come back to this at some point. Right now, obviously, this is, ain't nothing special. But what I want to do now is talk about the actual strategy structure. That's probably what people care about more, at least at this point right now, because I've been blabbering on this topic, and I know it, and, that's just what this type of video is. Just me heart to heart. Whatever's on my mind, I'm letting it out my mouth, and that's what we're doing here. No edits, anything crazy. So let's get into now strategy setup. This is an old-ass account from 2022 for something my buddy was doing. It's not my stuff, not digital stuff. So let's talk about now how would I launch ads for a digital product. What is my testing strategy? I told you I want you to test 20 ad creators, but that sounds expensive, Tanner. Why would I do that? How do I do that? So let me go over the setup. Now, first thing I'll say is here you're going to have, this is an ad account, by the way. So when you go over to here or here and you're in your ad accounts, you open up an ad account, then this is what it'll look like, and you'll be able to start, making ads. And I want to show you how that works. So first, you're going to see all this data. And one thing we can do initially is customize the columns just like this right here. So I can, exit out of most of these things right here that I don't really care about, to be honest. Delivery, budget, amount spent. I'm going to look at things like, all right, CPM, I kind of care. What's the cost per click? What's the link clicks? What's the ads to cart? I'm going to uncheck this. What's the checkouts initiated? What's the purchase? What's the cost per purchase? What's the purchase ROAS? Maybe I'll add frequency. These are just the things that I care about personally. I think I got all of them here. Might be missing a couple. Because for me, the thing I care about most, obviously, is my cost per purchase and my ROAS. Am I profitable or not? A ROAS is just your return on ad spend. So if I spend $1 and I make $2 in sales back, then I have a 2x ROAS. If I spend $1 and I make $1, I got $1. If I spend $1,000 and I have no sales, then I have a 0 ROAS. There's no ROAS. Anything times 0 is 0. Now, once you have these columns, you want to save those. Click this right here. Hello. Okay. Save. Now these will be there. You can choose this anytime you open your ad account. And of course, you can always adjust these and do what you want on here. But let me get into the strategy. Very simple. I want sales, right? So I'm optimizing for sales. Continue, and you're going to see this. Now, Advantage Plus is something that's a little bit more advanced. I do like it, but not for testing like this. We're creating an evergreen campaign right now, so we're going to do a manual sales campaign. All right. Actually, well, let's just do some naming here real quick. We can call this product cold creative testing. You can call product whatever your product name is. You can add it here. There's going to be a campaign specifically for this product that we're using to test ad creatives and find profitable ad creatives. The entire objective is this. You can get to $100 a day plus just using this simple strategy. Starting out just by getting a couple of ad creatives that are profitable, like making sales every day. Here you're going to see budget. This may be turned on automatically for you, but I would say you don't need to do that because it's not how this strategy works. Next, in here, you're going to go over here and you're going to see your objective you want to choose. Now, I suggest you here, you click website. You're going to choose your pixel, whatever the name is, the one you created. Okay, do that. And then you're going to come down here to budget. Now, daily budget. So in Facebook ads, you have 3 levels, right? Campaign, ad set, and then ads. So daily budget, all I do is around 1/3 of my profit margin. So even if you got the big bucks, this is what I recommend you do because it allows you to test over a couple day period this creative versus, what's it called? Spending a bunch of money at once and just losing money and not optimizing. So if I have a $30 profit margin, then I'll do, a $10 a day budget. If I have a $25 profit margin, I'm not going to do something weird and random like, $7.39. I'm going to do, $10 a day budget. Just keep it simple. Do either 5, 10, or 15 is usually like what beginners are going to be doing here. Most of the time it's like 10. Next thing I'll do is, all right, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to schedule this for midnight. Just a little bit of superstition stuff, keeping it simple, not a big deal. This way it's going to have a full 24 hours per day as it starts over at midnight. Next thing here, don't need to change this. The only thing we're going to change in audience control is location. Now, unless you're running an offer specifically to a specific language in a specific country, I would just suggest you do, throw in the top 5 here, okay? So we're going to do US, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand. Of course, there's other buyers around the world. With digital products, you have more opportunity. But to start out here, you just want to prove your concept. That's the idea. Audience, placements, we're not going to change any of that. And then here is in the ad level. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do this. Open, USA, Canada, EU, New Zealand, okay. And we're going to call this ad 1, just so we know from the ad set level all times. New sales ad, we'll just call this simply ad 1. And now basically what's going to be happening is you're going to be able to choose your Facebook page. If you have an Instagram, you can connect it. It's not required. It's not required. You run your Facebook page, and then here's where you're going to be uploading your image or video. Now you're going to see all these different recommendations, like should this be checked on, should it not? I would say yes, you're going to leave this checked on. Here's where you're going to be adding your image or your video, and then primary text, headline, description. Now people always ask this too, should I choose like this this button for learn more? Should I put shop now, get offer? I'm just going to say, to be fair with you, what I got in the best results with is just leaving it as learn more. Instead of doing like get offer or shop now, honestly, learn more has been yielding the best results. Destination URL, this is where you put your store URL, your product page URL, your one product landing page URL. This is where you put it in because this is where you'll be sending the traffic, okay? This part is pretty simple. Now you may be wondering like, Tanner, what do I do for my ad copy? Honestly, look, I don't have a framework here for you right now, but let's use a little ChatGPT. Write ad copy for my digital product using the information above. Here's an example of ad creative structure. I don't know if this thread doesn't remember the product because this one was started on TikTok names, so it doesn't know the product, but you can see how it's kind of structuring it here. Now, I would not say this is the perfect route to go. It's an option here. Usually what you're doing is literally you keep it in sync with everything we've done. The landing page, the ad creative has an end outcome statement and the main benefits and the transformation, and you introduce the offer. That's what I recommend doing. And you do that inside of your ad copy as well. And your ad copy is just text on here. Primary text, the headline, description you don't need to worry about. All you need to worry about is primary text, headline, and put the URL in here. And I always have one point here in the primary text where I will put the URL again, like get it today or download now, and you paste the URL. Now, the main point of this strategy is right here. So usually what people do when they're just starting out with ads, they're like, okay, I have an ad set. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make, I'm going to put 4 ad creatives. I'm going to start spending money. But if we add 4 different ads in here on this $10 a day budget, it's not going to spend $250, $250, $250, $250. It's going to spend it however it wants to. And the entire purpose of this campaign is to be where at any time I can say, hey, I want to test a new creative. Cool. All I need to do is duplicate this right here, change the name to number 2, go here to the ad level, and I'm going to change the ad creative to be my second ad creative. And this goes on. You could be into hundreds of ad creatives at some point. Who knows? And the entire purpose is to continue to do that. And this is something you will always be doing, always testing creatives in a non-biased way, because we know we're spending money directly towards this ad. The only variable that's changing is the ad creatives. No matter how many of these we duplicate, we could have 5,000 of them. The only variable that's changing is not the targeting, not the location we're putting, not anything else, just the ad itself. And that's the point of testing ad creatives and why I recommend you do this strategy. And I want you to test 20 ad creatives, literally. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to spend $200 a day. You could start at 2 or 3. All right, keep going. Do over 20. Like, you're bound to have a couple, a handful, maybe even more. I don't know. It depends on the offer, depends on the person. Like, there's so many variables involved. I can't control it. If you text me and you're like, yo, Tanner, this isn't working. What do I do? Be like, bro, I don't know all the variables involved of your store. I don't know what ads you're running. I don't know if you even follow my setup right. I don't know. So it's hard to tell you like this. Like, I need context. So that's why I want to, make this video and explain it is hopefully clear and show kind of like what I mean by all this. And now, like, kind of talking about decision making, because I want you to test 20 ad creatives. Do this comfortably within your budget. I would expect to want to make, a couple sales within like the first 5 to 10 ad creatives that you test. And your ad creatives don't have to all be very super different. Like, if you get UGC videos, sometimes you just change the first hooking part, and sometimes it'll make a big difference in results. Sometimes with the image, it's just a different background color, a different graphic. There's a lot of different ways that these things can be managed. And I think that's a very cool part about the digital products is that you saw me kind of do this like shitty quick thing on Canva, like half-assing. I didn't really have an idea for that. You could see though how like we could change a billion variables on there. We could make a billion variations with the end outcome statement, the bullets, the background, like all this stuff. Versus with this, typical dropshipping stuff, people are just, stealing each other's content in this game that I don't like. It's a rat race. It's what Einstein said is the definition of insanity, just doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. We do a different thing over and over and expect a different result. So that's the point. We're testing different things, different creatives. But what's going to happen is you're going to start spending money. Let's say you have 5 of these right here. So let me add 3 more. And I'll go here, edit each ad set. Let's say this one is 3. This one is 4. This one is 5. Save to draft. Okay, close this. Just for example purposes. Let's say you start running this tonight, midnight. Start spending money. And you see, all right, 3 of them have made 1 sale in 2 days. And it's profitable. Okay, cool. Some people freak out and they start increasing the budget. Don't do that. No. Some people go in and change the product page. If they're like, it's not working, I'm going to change the product page or the price. I'm going to lower the price. No, don't do that. Because you have to realize ads, if you've never run ads before, the platform, Facebook, is reading your ads. It knows the price of the product. You connect it to your store. Like, it's optimizing towards what's there. So that's why, especially if you are making sales with something, the number one rule with Facebook ads is don't fuck with something that's already working. So you don't want to mess with anything like that. And I don't want you to even mess with budgets on here. Even if this has a 5x ROAS, it's super dummy profitable. Don't change the budget. Don't change anything even right now. For this campaign, the point is just to gather profitable ad creatives. And if something's working, you don't touch it. If something spins, I would say for me, I'm a little bit more aggressive. But usually what people do, I tell people when they're starting out, is if it spins up to your break-even point, which is your profit margin without a sale, turn it off. You can be more risk averse. Instead of going like spending 3x that, like I would personally, just because I'm more risk averse, you can instead be, I don't remember if it's risk averse, which one that is, but I'm willing to be more risky. I would rather you, instead of spending 3x on one ad creative just to potentially give it a chance, instead to spend that extra money on another creative if you do not have a large budget here. But I know a lot of you guys watching this are going to use this and you're going to get sales, and I'm excited to see that. I really am, because I want to see more and more people doing this and getting results with it. I think it's a really cool thing to do. And, talking about strategies further, if you're like Tanner, I have ads in here and they're profitable and I want to scale it, we're going to have to leave that for a different topic for a different day, because scaling is a whole different thing. I just want to touch on this strategy here to get started. And you can, like I said, you could easily get to, I say easily, it's simple more than it is easy. But I know that you can get to over $100 a day in sales, with this strategy. And this is an evergreen thing. Even when you're scaling, you have a ton of more budget, this is something that will always, kind of remain here that you continue to use over time. So, I hope you've gotten value out of this video and it's helped you learn something or make progress towards your digital dropshipping journey here in day number 6 with paid ads. And tomorrow's the last day. Can you believe that? Time is flying, baby. But anyways, hope you have an amazing rest of your day, night, and, I'll talk to you soon. See you tomorrow. Bye.